Okay everybody, I'm going to try and do a little bit of a voiceover today on this one. Couldn't really talk much on this job. There was a woman working next door in a little office, so I didn't want to start waffling all day in her ear as well. So here we are, to another artex ceiling. You can see this one's got a step in it, so it comes down lower at this end that's closest to us, which is good. So starting off as usual with a good old scrape off. Now this ceiling had silk paint across it, and it was a bit of a pig to scrape down really. It was clumping, didn't just want to scrape off and fall down in bits like it usually would. It was sort of a bit almost like sticky, like rubbery. It was a horrible thing to scrape. So gave it 2 coats of PVA. As you can see me here just going around the edges and around the light with PVA. Now a few of you do comment in the comments about I should be using SBR, and yeah, I've used PVA since the 80s and never really had a trouble with it, but I know SBR seems to have really come into fashion lately, and I do like SBR, but when I'm in a house like this with a bit of decent furniture around me and decent carpet underneath me, I don't really want to chance SBR dripping everywhere, because as you know with PVA you can mix it to a controllable sort of viscosity really, so it's not going to drip everywhere. So that's what I did in here, and to be honest the ceiling had, because it was painted in silk anyway, it was plenty of suction control in it. I didn't have to worry. So there we are, 2 coats of PVA. Always give 2 coats whether it needs it or not. I've always given it 2 coats of PVA. I don't think you can go wrong then, you're covering everything. And for this first mix, I'm going to put a couple of handfuls of bonding in it, because the artex is, although it's been scraped, it's still got quite a depth to it really. So just by putting a bonding in it, you can lay it on a lot thicker, and you don't get that sort of sag with finish. You know what it's like with finish if you're going across artex and you're putting it on quite thick, you do see the finish want to sag a little bit, but you put a handful or 2 of bonding in that first mix, it eliminates that. It just gives it that bit of strength that it doesn't want to sag down again. It's an old trick, but if you've never done it, please try it. It will change the way you skim over artex ceilings. And I'm not sure if I'm imagining this, but when you do put a bit of bonding in your finish, it seems to act like a bit of a retarder really. It doesn't go off as quick, gives you a lot more working time, and I mean you can almost trail it to a perfect finish really. So all I usually do is just get that on, level it right off, and then it's just a real thin coat for a second coat on top really. I don't know why I didn't do this yesterday. If you saw yesterday's video, I struggled with these ceilings, but for some reason it went straight out of my mind to put bonding in it. So anyway, here I am just chucking this on, and I think here I will leave you with a little bit of music. So there we have it. That's the first coat all on. Nice and thick, nice and flat. And I shall just leave that for a bit, and then I shall just flatten it in again with my Plasiflex. And I know it's quite a controversial thing, the Plasiflex. I do get comments when I use that saying, you know, sort of quite negative comments really. But I've been using them for years now, well over 10 years and things, I'm sure I have. I've always got on really well with them. And it's not like they're a new thing, and, you know, they're made by Rafina. Now, if anyone should know how to make a trowel, it's Rafina. So unless you've used one, give them the benefit of the doubt. Get yourself one. And what they do is, sorry, this footage is a bit dark here. The GoPro's not really great in that sort of light. But what these Rafinas do is they allow you to get on and flatten a lot earlier than a steel trowel, because they don't press in. They don't leave the edges. So, like anything, there's a time to use it and a time not to use it. But I just find, just for getting it in, even maybe getting a little second coat on, a little thin coat with them, they're brilliant. You're not going to finish with them, because that's not what they're for. So those that doubt the old Plasiflex, give it a go. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised, actually. But like I say, I've been using them for well over 10 years now. Never had no complaints about anything. Always seem to do the job I ask of them. I just think they're great. I think they're so good. Anyway, enough waffle from me.